A very good, happy Wednesday morning to everyone out there. Landon here, back in the driver's seat yet again, bringing you your latest weather or not forecast this morning, courtesy of On Target. Have had some thunder boomers impacting the Wobbles vicinity throughout the overnight. That's continuing to be the weather story, as you can see. Looking at the live radar early this morning, we got a strong storm moving over Russellville as we speak. We got some more tracking just there on the north side of Barron County. This one down here near Russellville, however, looks like it's going to be impacting a good portion of the region. Taking a look over the WRUS Skycam, just had a beautiful shelf cloud that rolled over here. You can see the rain is absolutely pouring down, looking north over 431 over in that direction. And take a look at the explosive convection that we were just talking about over northern Barron County. Our Proclaim broadcasting camera showing a beautiful view of that explosive convection. And folks, this is going to be another broken record forecast as we work throughout the day. Continue on throughout the remainder of this week and maybe even into portions of next week as well. Let's get a look at those current conditions. It is hot. It is steamy, it is sultry, it is soupy out there, folks. That's as simple as you can put it. We've got temperatures and dew points already located right around the mid-70s. We're going to be pumping highs back up between the low and mid-90s as we work into this afternoon. You combine that with those dew points well up into the 70s, folks. If we can keep some pop-up storms and cloud cover out there to try to mitigate the heat a bit, we could be looking at triple-digit heat indices as we progress on into this afternoon. Here's a look at the surface map out there early this morning. Again, cold front and warm front located well to our north. High pressure situated just to our south and east, which is going to continue to surge in that deep, warm, and moist convection out of the south and west here as we work and we progress throughout the day. You're looking at the surface map right there as we're looking at this morning. However, as we progress throughout the next 24 hours, this is how the surface map is going to appear. That cold front is going to tease us and it's going to end up right on our doorstep. But again, we're going to remain south and east of that boundary, and it's going to stay very, very warm and very muggy. That boundary is actually going to wobble back to the north a bit as we work into our Friday on into the weekend. Unfortunately, folks, we cannot find a cold front that wants to make it all the way through here to bring some sort of relief here across the region. Taking a look here at the short-term model guidance, this is the simulated radar activity. No surprise there. Picked up nicely on that early morning convection that we're dealing with, but there's more where that came from. Take a look over the course of the next 48 hours. We've got multiple rounds of showers and storms this afternoon. More pop-up robust storm chances. We continue through the overnight. Then we get into our Thursday with a cold front approaching out of the north and west. You can see where the models are trying to set that cold front right along and just south of the Ohio River. That could set up a few strong to maybe even marginally severe storm chances for us, with damaging winds being the primary concern. But folks, look at the orientation of this front and the track that these storms are going to be meandering along. They're going to be developing over similar areas and then tracking off to the north and east. And not just Thursday, but here we are getting into Thursday night. Here we are getting into Friday. You can see that west to east orientation. That is referred to as training cells. Cells that regenerate over a similar vicinity and then track over the same locations. We're going to have to keep close eyes on this for flooding concerns that could unfold here across the region as a result. Some of these storms will be very efficient rain producers. Could be dumping anywhere from a ½ inch upwards to 1, maybe even 2+ inches in a short amount of time. So not so much today, but especially as we work into our Thursday and Friday with the orientation of the front, we're going to need to keep our eyes on that. Here's another reason why we're going to need to do that. Precipitable water values at or exceeding 2 inches, and folks, it's going to stay like that over a good chunk of the next 2 to 3 days. You can see I'm returning here right along and ahead of the leading front as we work into our Thursday morning. Here we are getting into Thursday evening. Here we are working into Friday morning, into Friday afternoon. You get the idea, folks. We simply cannot get this rainforest like atmosphere out of here, and it looks like it's going to be hanging in here for the foreseeable future. Now, you will note as we work into the weekend, We get into early next week, we get this large ridge that starts to build in here out of the south and east. We're going to need to be watching developing storm complexes that'll be riding the periphery of that ridge as we roll into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, as it could be bringing some MCSs, or what's known as mesoscale convective systems, south and east right through our vicinity, right across the periphery of that ridge. You will notice we get later into next week, that upper ridge really builds in here over the southeast U.S., Gonna need to keep eyes on that, and unfortunately this spells out more heat and more humidity to deal with, okay? Another thing that we're watching down to the south, nothing has come of it as of yet, but we still have the opportunity of looking at the development of some tropical cyclones out there. Right there near the Gulf, we've got a 40% probability of that thing developing into a tropical cyclone here over the next 2 to 3 days. We're going to need to keep eyes on it. Models are shunning the moisture off down across the deep south, but we'll need to see if that wave opens up anymore and brings any more moisture up and into our vicinity. Yes, we do have a low-tier severe weather risk in the cards. We might have a few strong to severe storms today. Might be the same scenario tomorrow. We've already covered it, folks. Lots of storm energy and instability. Very low on the wind shear and organization factor. We're going to be looking at these air mass thunderstorms we were just looking at on the sky cams earlier during this video. Damaging winds whenever those storms collapse on themselves, localized flooding, tons of lightning will be our primary concerns, as it's continued to be in the weather story over the past several days. You can take that with a grain of salt, folks. Those rain totals, I think we're going to be looking at anywhere from 1 inches, maybe upwards of 3 or 4 inches, maybe a little bit more for some of us. Over the course of the next week, repetitive rounds of showers and storms in the cards for us. 6-day forecast gives you the illustration. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out, folks. Temperatures right around the low and mid 90s each and every day. Dew points well up into the 70s. Oppressive heat and humidity and scattered storm chances every single day in the 6-day outlook. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Wednesday morning hump day edition of your Weather or Not forecast, brought to you by On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a phenomenal Wednesday.